We have tough choices ahead. The first choice that we must make is the one that will determine our success. Shall we rebuild our state together? Or shall we fight amongst ourselves, create even deeper division, and fail the people of California? Well, let me tell you something. The answer is clear. For the people to win, politics as usual must lose.
When I think about democracy, I think about, the people that have come to this country as immigrants. I think those many times are our biggest champions of democracy in the United States.
He came from a country that experienced tyranny under the Nazis, a country that experienced people who had to fight for their freedom.
Everything I have, I owe to America.
2022 is showing the fruits of everything that he did, right? We see the second round of the Redistricting Commission in California completed its maps. The top two primary has been here for a decade.
He achieved two major reforms to take the power out of the hands of politicians and give it back to citizens. Even if you don't agree with him on many issues, you have to celebrate what he achieved in reforming democracy and the spirit he represents for believing in the American dream.
Everyone now acknowledges how bad political polarization is in the United States. But he saw it and he knew it back when he was governor.
I think he saw the need for reform because we really had a very dysfunctional legislature in California.
Ultimately, he discovered that after 2005, that to get things seriously done in California over the long term, you had to change the rules under which people were elected so that they actually manifested the people of the state of California, regardless of their parties.
When you protect the incumbent, you're protecting them so there's no competition. And when there's a lack of competition, then there's a lack of action and performance.
The obstacles were tremendous. Both parties opposed it, both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So he had to overcome just this kind of, historical and transient nature of parties that really don't want change unless they think it's going to benefit them somehow.
Let me start with the conclusion. It would not have happened without Governor Schwarzenegger. There was no better communicator than Governor Schwarzenegger, who worked the entire state to get voters to understand what a difference this would make in their lives.
He oftentimes talks about his bodybuilding experience. Sometimes you can't lift a weight the first time, you can't lift the weight the second time, but if you keep going at it, maybe time number 5 or 6 is going to be the winning time.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, those two words in Latin probably mean never daunted. I've never seen him daunted.
And I think that those are lessons that he brought to politics.
Open primaries and redistricting will fundamentally change the way Sacramento operates. And it is because of people like you who stood up and went to the polls and voted for change.
When he was done as governor, he didn't stop advocating for reform. And he's traveled the country, going to states where there were ballot initiatives to try to get more reforms.
At the time, Governor Schwarzenegger was actually filming a movie over in Europe. So we're like, oh, he probably can't help that much. But he ended up surprising us and saying, you know what, I can come and do a rally with you guys.
But it is very difficult and very challenging to go and get up out of that couch and to say, I'm going to do something about it. And Katie said, I'm going to do something about it.
To have somebody who's like an action hero, but also somebody who's been in office, take the time to actually say, like, not only is what you're doing really great, but like it's absolutely necessary in order for us to actually have a country that's for, by, and of the people is a really powerful thing.
I don't know any other leader who would work on anything where the benefits would derive well down the road, long after he was out of office.
In a lot of ways, what California did was exactly what the country needed to see was possible.
We have a much better politics in California because of Arnold's reforms. It is more open, there are more women, there are more people of color, there are less incumbents, there are less people there for 40 years, more new voices, and that's ultimately a testament that these reforms have worked.